controversial diet that has everybody asking, how can I get on it? Imagine losing a pound a day, but never feeling hungry. It's called the HCG diet. You take a hormone called HCG while on a diet that's very low in calories. Now, it sounds too good to be true, but you're going to meet some people, including doctors, who've tried it and say it has changed their lives. Now, all these people over here say they have lost an amazing amount of weight on it, about 800 pounds in total. And when I first heard about it, I was intrigued, but I had a lot of questions. Does it really work? Is it safe? Is it a miracle, or is it hype?
It's the hottest diet sweeping the country. And if you believe all the hype, it's the long-awaited miracle cure for weight loss. Imagine losing 40 pounds in just 40 days. An astonishing 1 pound per day. That's what the ads promise for the HCG diet. It's controversial, and thousands of people swear by it. The HCG diet actually dates back to the 1950s, when Dr. A.T.W. Simeons claimed that human chorionic gonadotropin, a hormone produced during pregnancy to ensure a fetus gets necessary nutrients, could also promote weight loss. How? According to Simeons, by simultaneously suppressing your appetite while helping your body burn fat. Users say that helps them with the most radical part of the diet, which limits you to just 500 calories a day, far below the 1,200 calories nutritionists and doctors, including me, recommend is safe. It's easy to buy products claiming to contain HCG, over the counter and online, though many have little or no trace of the hormone. The most concentrated doses must be prescribed by your doctor. So the question remains, is HCG the world's ultimate recipe for weight loss?
Today we're going to meet people who love this diet and some people who hate it. You're going to be surprised to see who lines up where. Let's start with the basic question. What is HCG? Well, if you've had a baby, then you've had HCG in your body. When you get a pregnancy test, like this one, it actually measures the HCG in your urine. The placenta makes HCG, which stimulates other hormones to keep a blood supply to the fetus. But here's the deal. After 50 years of research, there is still no proven medical reason why HCG will keep you from getting hungry, even though people on the diet say that it does. Now, the HCG drug can be found in two forms. It can come in a shot form like this. We actually inject it into yourself. Or you can take drops like this that you actually put under your tongue. Now, the other part of this diet is pretty extreme. You eat only 500 calories a day. Now, of course, you'll lose weight if this is all you're eating. But it's something that I want to go over with you. Dr. Sherry Emma, who runs a weight loss clinic in New Jersey, where she prescribes this diet using HCG injections, is joining us. Dr. Emma, please join us. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Just confirm with me that I got this right. This is a typical diet that someone might eat. It's a total of 500 calories. So you start breakfast with a coffee, then a snack of fruit, then a little bit of protein and a lettuce for lunch, maybe a Melba toast or two for a snack in between lunch and dinner. Dinner, again, a small amount of protein with a vegetable, and then a snack of fruit at the dinner. Pretty representative?
Pretty representative. We have a little bit of variability. They can have an orange or a bowl of berries. So we have substitutions, and I often tell them if they have a little more lettuce than that, it's okay. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
All right. So I gotta say, I'd have a lot of difficulty with this. And even if I was a little smaller than I am, I probably would still struggle. But I guess that's really the key here. That the argument at the core of whether the HCG diet works or not is whether that hormone actually suppresses the ravenous hunger you'd have if you were only eating 500 calories a day. Right. So let me ask you the first obvious question. Why be so dramatic? Why not allow 1,000 calories or 1,200? That still is enough to lose weight.
Well, what we're seeing today with obesity, it's becoming an epidemic. And the sooner we can get people to their goals where they are healthy, the better off they are.
Explain why that's possible. How can you live on 500 calories a day?
You're actually not living off of just this food. What the concept is and why it works so well is you're living off of this food that you're consuming, plus the additional body fat needed for the energy you're not consuming.
So let me underline that if I can. So you're saying that the reason that HCG is effective is because you can get by with 500 calories because you're burning fat stores, of which most of us have tens of thousands of calories just on our hips alone.
That's right.
Now, HCG is an FDA-approved drug, but it's used primarily for fertility, not for weight loss. All right. So one thing you can learn from this diet for sure is portion control, shock therapy, so to speak, right? Because you really are getting shocked in there. Now, we asked some of Dr. Emma's patients to come here. I got to say, I am fascinated by this. Because anytime you have scientific dogma, studies showing nothing, but can't prove it, and yet you have real human beings saying, I tried it and it works, I get curious. So we asked some of Dr. Emma's patients to join us who say they have had success on the diet. We're going to talk to some folks who aren't so happy with it either. So Nina's joining us today. She's a radio host in Chicago. The first person I ever met who was on this diet. I subsequently found out that my wife, Lisa, took some of these droplets.
Oh.
But I didn't know that at the time, so I don't count her. And I came on your show, and we talked a little bit afterwards, and you educated me a bit about what the experience had been like for you. What made you try the HCG diet in the first place, as opposed to all the other myriad of diet options out there?
So I needed to lose weight because I had gotten to the point where I felt, and I know a lot of the ladies probably understand this, started feeling my biggest jeans that I've ever had get so tight where I refused to buy an extra size of jeans, like an extra pair, just going up a size. I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm a part of the media, and people see me, and I want to look good, and I think that I could be fabulous.
So here's a picture of Nina before you went on the program, I understand.
Yeah.
And how much have you lost?
I've lost 50 pounds, and I've kept it off.
I mean, obviously it shows there's a massive amount of weight to lose. And you use the drops, is that correct? These drops like this?
Those are the drops. I use them. I swear by them. They taste like nothing, so don't think, it might taste like something. You just take them 3 times a day.
So I was fascinated by Nina's story, so I followed up with Gary, her friend, a chiropractor, who sells her the homeopathic HCG drops. And Gary is joining us today. He also lost weight on this plan. Gary, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Oz.
How much have you lost, by the way?
I personally lost 35 pounds in 40 days.
These are just crazy numbers.
Yeah, men seem to lose it a little faster than women. I'm sorry, but it seems to be the case.
And where do you get the droplets from? I mean, Dr. Emma's telling us, as a physician who's an expert in the area, that she's concerned because the doses have to be so low that the FDA is not bothered by it.
It's a great question. Because it's a homeopathic, it doesn't fall under the guidelines of the FDA. It's outside of that umbrella. However, we get ours through an FDA-inspected pharmaceutical laboratory. It doesn't need to be, but we fit into those guidelines.
All right, so here's where I get a little concerned. I'm just going to speak honestly about this.
Yes.
You know, you can buy it online, but it might not contain any HCG, which is one concern that has been raised. I'm not accusing you of this, but I know that we've had our team looking at this a little bit, and I have to raise this concern. But after emails back and forth, and we talked a lot with Gary, and I appreciate very much, you're very responsive to my questions. We've got a big medical unit. We went and investigated this stuff as best as we could. We could not find any evidence in the published literature that it actually works. Yet I am looking at a couple dozen people just in the studio who say it works. So we contacted the FDA, and the FDA investigator, it's got a consumer investigator unit, said the same thing. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, we've got a lot of folks who've been very happy with this, but I want to bring the other folks into this discussion as well. Because, so we can go up here. You've all been on the diet. Who wants to go first? You want to? Yeah, hop up there. Then we'll go over there too. Go ahead. To describe your, stand if you don't mind.
Sure.
What's your first name?
Lisa.
Lisa, talk to me about your experience. Have you been hungry on it? Is it difficult?
The first 2 days, maybe I was a little bit hungry, and then I had a lot of greens, as Dr. Emma said. It did fill me up. Drank a lot of water, and I definitely had a lot more energy. I felt a lot better. It came off quickly, and I've kept it off.
And how much is it? How much weight did you lose?
15 pounds.
15 pounds. Perfect. And you were on for how many weeks?
I was on it for 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Okay. Then you had a question. Go ahead.